From the windows to the walls, this entire structure looks brand new for students and faculty to enjoy. This is going to cost us about $2.05 a gallon. That's up 4 cents from yesterday and 10 cents from last week. May come as a surprise to some of the nursing students, but in the next room over, a technician is controlling everything. She came to the hospital to visit her sick mother and instead found herself running down JPA. Today, prosecutors and law enforcement say this is a warning to other gangs in Central Virginia. After the shooting, she ran out of her front door to see a silver car speeding down South 1st Street onto Langford Avenue. See it on the wall. It says mechanical engineering, aerospace engineering. That's because they're doing a lot of research here with something called unmanned autonomous systems. This is footage from inside Ike's Underground. It's scary to see the charred remains of a business that has called the downtown mall home for the last 10 years. Ended up in the crosshairs of the major winemaker, but now they're trying to make the best of the situation by asking for your help to name that bucha.
This was the last place I thought anything would happen like that.
Angela Burton has spent the last week in the hospital with her mother.
My mom had brain surgery.
But on Tuesday night, everything changed.
He was like, well, are you married? And I was like, well, no, I'm engaged.
Angela says around 10:30 p.m. she was visiting her mother when a security guard at the medical center confronted her in the lobby.
I thought I was in trouble, but I didn't do nothing wrong.
According to Angela, the guard asked her to follow him to another part of the hospital.
He was like, there's no cameras down here.
Angela says she was isolated without her phone when it happened.
And he kissed me and I kind of let him do it so I could, that simple getaway, not cause no problem.
Frightened, Angela says she found her phone and started to leave the hospital, but when she did, she says the guard started following her.
So I started running and got to a corner where I felt safe, and my daughter's father told me to call 911.
The University of Virginia Police Department would not confirm if they were investigating the confrontation, but the UVA health system says they are aware of the allegations against a security guard and are investigating what happened.
I haven't been back none today because I've just been scared.
Angela says she is lucky it was only a kiss, but worries about other women.
This downgrading to me, and I don't want it to happen to nobody else. All we can do is just hope we get justice for Floyd.
Tiffany Powell in Charlottesville General District Court describing the murder of her fiancé Floyd Alston Jr. What sticks out for you the most? What was the hardest thing to go through with all of that?
Losing my fiancé. And my child losing her dad and seeing all of that.
Powell told the judge in court that she and Alston spent the day Christmas shopping. That night while Alston slept on the couch, Powell says 2 men came into their apartment. One man had a gun. While Powell covered her 3-year-old daughter on the living room floor, she says Alston struggled with the man who had the gun, and that's when Alston was shot. Police testified Alston died from his wounds. Now Powell and her 2 daughters pushing forward without Alston.
They're doing good. We're all doing therapy, so we're all doing really good, as best as we can with the situation.
Powell says she's known Alston for 16 years. She's hoping that the man who killed her fiancé does hard time.
I hope he'll go to prison, is what I'm hoping, forever.
They need the Ninja Turtles to come and fix the situation. This is a job for somebody, and it's not being fixed.
For Shantae Carnes, a giant puddle of standing water was right outside of her front door every time it rained.
It stinks. It's like trash.
She'd been complaining about the water since April, but BH management said they didn't know about the water until CBS 19 got involved. The reason? They just purchased Granite Park, and the old property manager never told them about the outstanding maintenance problems. More tenants came forward to CBS 19 with pictures like these, showing a property in disrepair covered in trash, and they said they reported all of these to the property manager months ago. We called to get some answers.
The party you are trying to reach is not available to take your call.
But got no response, so we went to the leasing office.
Property manager?
Yes. Try to get answers.
They won't let us address anything, but I'll give you our lawyer's phone number, our corporate office.
We did manage to confirm that BH brought in a new management team when they purchased the property.
I came with BH.
You came with BH, gotcha. We also confirmed that BH did field some complaints when they took over the property. You guys been getting a lot of complaints and stuff since you started, or has it been pretty smooth, the transition?
Typical. I mean, they're always, when you take over, it's always, it's a little difficult.
But management would not say much beyond that and gave us a number to call.
Give her maybe an hour. She should call you back pretty quickly.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. But an hour later, nothing. So we called again.
The party you are trying to reach is not available to take your call.
and you want, if there's anybody in the conference room, they want to hear it too. How are you feeling this morning?
Victoria is having a baby. She has UVA nursing students who are helping her deliver her baby.
If a mistake is made, no harm is done.
That's because Victoria is a robot.
We use her for a normal delivery, and then we use her for experiencing a postpartum hemorrhage.
From blinking to pain, Victoria is helping these students learn what to do during childbirth.
We do know where things are and we know our way around here, but simulation really, really does help us just understand the process a little bit better.
Victoria's reaction to certain situations may come as a surprise to some of the nursing students, but in the next room over, a technician is controlling everything from Victoria's heartbeat to the heartbeat of her baby.
Has anybody seen my doctor?
Techs working to control Victoria with computers and monitors make sure the students get as realistic an experience as possible.
I've never witnessed a childbirth before, so during this simulation I understood a little bit more better of how the process goes.
Keep breathing through it.
We need to constantly reassure the patient, remind them what's going on, because, you know, this situation is about them. So keeping them involved in their care is really important. Sometimes you can kind of forget that when you're dealing with a mannequin.
But in the heat of the moment, one forgets Victoria is made of wire and steel, which makes this moment a magical one.
To me, the learning is so valuable. To learn in a very controlled situation where it simulates a live experience, but if mistakes are made, we learn from it.
Unfortunately for Victoria, it looks like baby number 5 won't be the last.
Congratulations, Victoria.
Oh, thank you.
Tomas, Harmon, CBS 19 News.